Well. Right. Let me pull down on this music here. I'll just pull it down like that, and I'll try to make you kind of see me. Where is it? Where's that scene? Wait. Oh, there it is. Good. Oh, it's been a while since I did one of these, like 4 months. So hello and welcome everyone watching right now. 10,000 subs, everyone. It's like a goal post I've been dreaming of. Seriously. I remember like counting up to the first 1,000 subs, and that took quite a while to do with this channel. Seeing how it was more of a niche back then, more and more being able to use like mobile music stuff and apps and things like that. I apologize, I'm a bit tired in my voice. I still haven't gotten quite back from the sickness that caught me, the flu. But it's been like 2 weeks and I'm getting better. Hello and welcome everyone. I can see a lot of comments in the chat room here, and it's so nice to see that. Thank you. Yeah, 10,000 subs that's a lot for me. That's a lot. Don't really know how it got there, because the latest like 3 weeks or something. 3 weeks, more like 3 months. I haven't been focusing at all on the numbers of the channel. I kind of just let that go. And I've just been trying to focus on the format of the show and trying to make the content better, basically. So, Morgan Corn? Is that Morgan Corn? Is that the right way to phrase it? Morgan Corn says, Cuckoo Mirror. I got the idea from him when I visited him when I was in Oslo like 2 years ago. I visited Cuckoo in his studio, and he told me he used like a mirror, because I was struggling since back then I was like streaming only with iOS devices. And it wasn't easy to get a second camera in there because of bandwidth of my internet speeds, and like iOS streaming with iOS only, it's not optimal, especially not when you're using multiple devices, and it's just a chore. So when he told me about the mirror, I told that to my girlfriend, and she went out and bought the mirror for me, and since then I've been using it. I mean, it's a great way to get your face in there, basically. Thank you so much for all the congratulations here. Thank you so much. Consuelo says, love your job. Hope 100,000K for you. Yeah, I'm happy I've got like 10,000, and that means a lot to me right now. And as I said, I've like stopped counting numbers. I've stopped looking at the actual... I'm not looking at the statistics as hard as I used to do back in the past. I'm just trying to make the content better for you, because that's what I want to do. So this is... I'm just going to turn this off. Right now I'm playing... I just want to show you. I'm playing this bit here. I'm going to play it for you again. Wait, let's... Yeah, I seriously messed that one up. Come on. I just need to raise the volume here. This is the thing right now, playing it. And what you're hearing is all of the samples, all of the drum sounds, the bass, the kind of weird string sound, all of it is sampled from a cello. All of it. All the sounds are sampled from a cello. I did record it into Cubase's on the iPad, and then just mix around with the sound and cleaned it using Brusfri from Clevger, one of the best apps ever made for cleaning noise of audio. It's just amazing. It's a pro tool for almost no amount of money, and anyone anyone doing videos or music, when you're out in the field, you do these recordings, you get some noise in there. Boost 3 is the best tool you could use for that price. It gives you like total control over the sound. It's working with a multiple series of gates. It's not just a high pass and a low pass filter and like a gate. It uses multiple noise gates. It just sounds great. So I did that, and then I just input the audio into the PO33, and I made this beat. I even made this. It's like I've got 5 on it. Who made that? I got 5 on it. Who made that? I can't remember who made that. Yeah, it's awesome. So that's the PO33 for you right there. Let me just move this chat window closer so I can see. Iron Sainsbury says she can't stay for the live thing. Yeah, thank you for showing up, Ian. Ian, thank you for showing up. Is it Ian or Ian? I'm sorry, I messed up. I'm gonna blame it on this sickness. That I'm no longer sick, but you know, I could be. Can you see me there? I'm moving the mirror, aren't I? Let's see here. It takes me about 10 seconds to see if I'm doing it right. Right. Oh, we got Dean here. Dean Daughters from Electronic Sounds. He's got his own YouTube channel. It's awesome. The guy is just insane in a good way. And if you haven't seen his content, he makes a lot of beatmaker videos. But the guy makes some great music. He's a professional. It sounds really good. And he just remodeled his studio to clean away some of the bad sounds he had in his room. And he's made a few. I think you've made at least one video of it, Dean. I can't remember. I think I've seen one at least, and a few pictures on Instagram or Facebook. It looks awesome. His studio is looking awesome. My studio is coming along. Today I wanted to add a double, 2 cameras to show you what I'm doing in the back. But the MacBook can't handle it. So no, we have to do this thing right here. So to celebrate this, I asked my girlfriend. I told her that I haven't been streaming for 4 months, and the reason to that is because of my my need for control. And I've always felt that I'm not able to put my live streams on par with a high standard as I have for the rest of the content I make. And she's like, well, that's stupid, Jacob, because live streams aren't your regular content, right? I mean, live streams is where anything can happen, and maybe that's what people like about it. And I'm like, maybe she's right. Maybe I'm being stupid about this. Why don't you tell me? Do you want me to do unscriptured live streams? Because I feel really uncomfortable doing them. That's why. Ivan asks why Cubase doesn't support files and or folders yet. I don't know, Ivan. I couldn't tell you because I'm still on iOS 10. I haven't updated to iOS 11 yet because there are still apps that I use that just won't run well on iOS 11. So I'm still waiting. Just like I did with updating from 9 to 10. I waited almost a year before the Apple fixed all of the main really vile issues it had. And I don't care how many people tell me that, oh, it just runs fine for me. I work professionally with my iPad, and it's the only thing I work with. And I can't afford having my video apps just go bunk on me or something like that. And that has happened before between iOS 8 to 9. That was the worst mistake I ever did, like updating early. And it took 6 months before I could work properly. I had to do reworks, and it took me double the time to do the stuff that I usually did with my videos. So no, I'm not gonna update to 11. That's why. Get rid of those scripts. Did I say scriptures? I meant to say scripts. I meant to say scripts, everyone. Oh no. All right. So I wanted to start celebrating this with something that I've been working on. I've got Gadget here, okay? And inside Gadget, I've loaded up like Montpellier, like a bunch of them. And then I've got one Wolfsburg gadget and one Dublin gadget, and then some Zurich ones. But what I did here was I kind of took what they did with Strange Things, the tune for that series. I used part of that, changed the key and the tempo, made it to my own. You can still hear that it sounds like Strange Things, but I wanted to make something sci-fi synthy like, and since I got the PO35, the voice speak synthesizer by Teenage Engineering, I've been recording vocal bits and doing stuff, and so I'm working on an EP for the first time now in years. I've been working on video, so I haven't had time to work on music, because I take as much time as I spend on making music, I spend on making videos, so I can't do both. And I've had to choose, and I had to choose to do the videos instead, because more people get to enjoy those than if I just released a piece of music. I feel anyway. And besides, I like making tutorials. I like doing that. I like helping people with their apps and hardware and stuff. So yeah, kind of natural choice for me. But now I'm working on this EP where it's more than music. It kind of like short stories and music. So it's a story about a team of British astronauts doing stuff, and so it's like you get an intro with you hear they're communicating with each other, and that's the thing. I wanted to do that before, but I didn't really have a good voice effect for that. I tried cleaning the audio, making it sound like old communications between, like I've listened to the NASA tapes and stuff like that, like the communication you could hear between the home base and the astronauts. It sounds in a specific way. And then PO35 Speak came out, and it's using this linear prediction coding, and it's the same thing that is used for communicating like this. Same thing we use for communicating with mobile phones. And so I want to play this for you, but the volume is so low in Gadget because I kind of do it low, so I have headroom. Never mind. I made a louder version here, so I want to play this for you. I'm not going to play the whole thing. And so, yeah, I'm just going to play this for a little bit.
Alright, Houston, we've reached the target destination. The vessel looks intact. There we go. Yeah, we're right under it. I'm going to put us on top. We've located an entrance. Well, yeah, there's a hatch on the starboard side. Let's go there. I don't know. That hatch doesn't look that big. Right, it does look tight, but it's the best option right now. Alright, game on. Everyone, stay focused. Okay, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Just stop, man. Stop. Alright, don't get your panties in a twist. It's just, let's try the port side then. No, the port side is not going to work either. You can't cut through that hole. How about the dome on the top side then? Over? Yeah, we try that. Just use the tent, create a tight seal around it, and then crack it open. Sorry for letting you wait, everyone. We've got a tight seal, we cracked it open, and we're headed in. Okay, I need everyone here right now. Drop everything, just come here. You have to see this. You just have to see this.
Yeah, it's gonna be really, really awesome when I'm finished with it. So what happens is there's a fat piece of music. It sounds kind of strange, things like you can hear that, but There's a lot of things happening. I've recorded like my core K oscillator straight into Gadget, into Zirish. So I've been doing those bits live. I've also, the noise and stuff in the background is actually a frequency from the AM band from one of my radios. We purchased one of those radios with a crank on it. So you can charge it with a crank. It's got a solar panel. And so I used that to sample the radio and the AM band. I just searched for the right band and then recorded that into Zirish, and I'm using that in the background. So there's a piece of music, and then you will hear something more from the astronauts. And so the EP is going to be like 5 tracks long, and they're going to be really spacey like this. And they're going to basically be telling a story together with music. I don't know if there's a market for it. I don't care. This is what I want to make. And with PO35 Speak, I'm having so much fun because it sounds absolutely perfect. You know, the sound bits and everything. So I just want to answer a few questions here. I got a question from Jeff Abraham. Any tips for a rock guitarist trying to learn electronic music? It's so different from what I'm used to, but I love trying. The thing is, I don't find it that different. Yeah, I know. You could say like, hey, listen to it. It sounds nothing like it. Well, I used to listen to a lot of rave music, a lot of acid music and trance and psychedelic trance. And there are some pieces of rock that aren't too far away from that. There's even a band called Zwork, I think. Z-W-O-R-K. I think they're called Zwork. They were rock musicians, and then they went over to India, to that place where everybody goes and they get high and wasted. I haven't been there, but they went there and they discovered psychedelic trance, and so they came home with that to Berlin, maybe? Are they from Berlin or France? I can't remember. But they came home. Sun Project they're called. They're called Sun Project, and one of their songs is called Zwork. And so they're rock musicians who made trance music. And the thing is, rock, like dark rock and like heavy metal and death metal are very close when it comes to like the scales, the Ionian scales they use sometimes and stuff. It sounds a bit like the Arabian scales that are used by psychedelic trance musicians, like astral projection and stuff like that. So what I would do if I were you, I would basically just look for trance music, because that is a part of the electronic dance music genre, and then go from there. You just slow down the music a bit and you add your own bits into it. I mean, you don't want to make something that everyone else makes. I do all the time, but then I try to make something like that. But this sounds like strange. That aside, I don't know what I'm trying to answer here, Jeff. But basically, I'm saying to learn how to produce something is to kind of to know it, and to get to know it, you have to consume it. And so you should just listen a lot to it, analyze it with your ears, and what. I analyze stuff with my feelings, so I hear it, but it's not until I feel it that I know if I want to do it or not. I'm talking so weirdly. So I'm gonna go to another question. I don't know if I answered yours, but that's the best I could do. Right. I'm gonna see. I saw another one. Oh, okay. So Murali Krishna asks, I have GeoShred and I fretless guitar. Can you suggest me a better realistic guitar app? Actually, I can't. I'm not a guitarist, and the only guitar apps I've used those you've spoken of, and I've also used what is it called, like Guitar, and I've used the one from Yonak Inc. Steel Guitar. It's a steel guitar app, and that one is pretty amazing. It sounds pretty good for being an app. I mean, it's hard to make a string instrument into an app. It's not the easiest thing, because the control you get from playing a string instrument is not really there. But steel guitar is definitely something you should check out. Now, it's not a regular guitar app since it's a steel guitar, so but you should check that one out. Otherwise, I'm not too sure, but maybe someone else could tell you. Denny shit. I dare not pronounce your. But the question is Craft the best in iPad? I'll tell you this. I have said that this is best and that is best, but I know too well that it's all, it all comes down to personal reference and what you like or not. So there's really nothing best. People can complain and they can say this is more professional than that. I really don't care. Neither should you. Neither should anyone. Whatever you like and whatever you feel creative with is what you should use. Craft is good, but it's not for everyone. It's for me, definitely, because I love being able to build my own surface. That's what you have to do. You have to build your own surface, build your own tool for making music with. And that's why I like it so much, instead of sitting in a static view with Cubases, for instance, which I love, or Gadget, which I love, or Beatmaker 3, which I love. But when I want to do some live stuff, there's nothing better for me than Craft, because it's tailored to me, because I made the interface. See how that works? So that's why I'm able to put all the time in you actually need to spend on doing something in Craft. You need to spend a lot of time in it. And if you're not interested, if you don't have anything to gain from it, then you shouldn't go for it. Let's see here. Ricardo Parker Newman asks, do you think Oreo Pro is a good investment? Yes, of course I do. I hate using it. I'm serious. I hate using it, but it's a good investment. It's got a lot of good tools. The in-app purchases are excellent. The fab filters are excellent. They sound awesome. I just can't use it. I hate the interface. I totally do not like the interface. But it is a good investment, most definitely. So if you want to go for that, if you feel that you would be creative in that, then go for it. Really, go for it. For me, it's just a bit too fiddly, and I just prefer Cubases more. And we recently got like Waves plugins for it, so I'm hoping to see if Steinberg and company is gonna add some more stuff in there. That would be awesome. Let's see here. Papa Fatih says, give us more. Of the song. Yeah, I have to finish it. I might play a little bit more along the way. Let's see here. Jeff says, thank you for the tips on the trans. Yeah, I know I didn't I didn't really make any sense. Samuel Lindemann says GarageBand. Tony Duncan says Guitarism. Yeah, right. Guitarism is also a good app, but I haven't used it for quite some time. Morgan Korn asks, how did the collaboration with Teenage Engineering go and start? Okay, so this is the thing. It started, I think, like 2 years ago, maybe a bit more. I mean, it is 2018. And Tobias von Hofstein contacted me because one of my viewers told him, I think it was, let's see now, Max Sokoleski. I think it was Max Sokoleski. I made an interview with him about his modular. If you haven't seen it, you really should. He's insane in a good way. He's really insane, and he's very meticulous about the way he uses his modular and the way he marks his stuff to know where everything is. He's just a very interesting guy, and he's got a great modular system. I don't like modulars, but I love hearing people talk about modulars. So he basically told Tobias, because they're friends, about me, because Tobias wanted to know if you could make like videos with iOS and stuff. And Max said, well, there is this one guy who has produced an entire career using iOS devices only. He basically makes them on his iPhone. And that was true back then. I used to edit, film, cut, edit, do all of that things, that's some good grammar for you. All of those things, I used to do those on the iPhone. On an iPhone 5S, it had an even smaller window than the iPhone 6S I'm using now. And later I got an iPad Mini 2, and I started editing on that one because it was better better. It was faster, had more hardware capabilities than my iPhone 5. And then I got this one, the iPhone 6, and I started using that. And now I'm using the iPad Pro to edit on. But I'm basically doing it on there. So Tobias contacted me to ask how I did it. Because he wanted to start making videos like that for Teenage Engineering. So I've been consulting him on that. And so I said, why don't you guys just borrow, like lend me some of your stuff? And so they basically gave me a box with the OP1, with all of the Teenage Engineering operators, pocket operators back then. So you had like the arcade, the office, like all of them. And I started using them and I just instantly fell in love with them. And then they told me that they were working on something new. Obviously, I couldn't tell anyone else about this because my job would be very hard if I leaked stuff. So I got a hold of the PO33 and the PO35 quite early, like several months before Christmas there. And I had to like get working on them. I was testing them. I cannot disclose anything about the testing process or anything like that. All I can say is I was testing them, and I also got to make patents for the PO33, which is like awesome. My patents are in the machines that people are buying right now, and that's like what a mark to leave. I never thought it was possible to get that far from just starting a bloke from Sweden in his bedroom where I'm still at with an iPhone 5S. Making videos about apps, and that's where it got in the end. My music, my small patents are inside the PO33 Knockout, and people are getting them and they're hearing that music right there, and that's just, it's just I feel like I'm what do you call it? Skittish? Not skittish. Not skittish. That's wrong. I'm like a child on Christmas. It's just amazing. I'm totally humbled by that whole thing. That's basically how it started, and that's how it ended up. I also, this is the thing. When I visited haQ, this was before, back in Norway, I visited him and his studio, and he told me about the pocket operators before Tobias contacted me. And I said to haQ, I will contact them, and I will make them provide me with some pocket operators. A week after I came home from that, I hadn't gotten to contact anyone there at Teenage Engineering. This is when I received an email from Tobias from Teenage Engineering, and I was shocked. I'm like, what? What is this? So that was like, it was just, I don't believe in faith really, but it felt like it was meant to be. Kind of debunked my own sentence there, but yeah, that's... Never mind. Right. Flat Earth says, I bought the PO33. It's a cool machine. Yep. It most certainly is. It's awesome. Let me play another pattern for you that I'm making. That's also samples. Just I filled the entire machine just with cello samples, and so I've used all those samples to make different kinds of music. So I'm making hip hop, I'm making trance and everything. I'm supposed to make like a pack so I can share the transfer file as an audio file, because you can't share them in videos. YouTube compresses the audio too much, basically. Let's see here. Doug Woods from the Sound Test Room is in the chat room. Hello, Doug Woods. Usually Doug streams, but he told me he was having a little cough or something. Are you going to stream later on? Are you just not going to do it, Doug? Doug is he's a friend of mine. We've become friends over the years, and he's got a lovely wife. I'm assuming that a lot of you in the stream knows who he is, and if you don't, Doug Woods is he's like a pioneer inside mobile music, and he was one of the first making videos about that. It wasn't the first. I think it was Smite Matter who did the first things, and then you have like Palm Sounds, but Doug Woods has been there for a long time, making videos for all of us about mobile music. He's He's got a great personality. He's got a great, he's just got a great vibe about him. Never really takes anything too seriously. He's just a good person. A bit insane, of course. I have to say that he's extremely bonkers. He's a real nutter, that one. But he's a good friend. He's a really good friend. Let's see here. Hello, CB Legacy asks, hello Jacob, I just bought the Innovation Audio Hub after watching your video. Is it still working well for you? Well, I don't know if you can see it, but it's what I'm using right now, okay, to transmit all of the sounds through the internet. Yeah, it's working extremely well for me. For some reason, this is the thing. Normally I use... I don't know, I hope that doesn't sound crazy, but I normally use this thing. This is the Behringer UCA202, and since I started like doing the live streams with the MacBook, I used to connect the UCA202 to the MacBook and then port all of the sound in there with a mixer. Today I wanted to do it differently. I wanted to test the Innovation Audio Hub instead because it's got a hub on there so that I could connect like the Ethernet connector because I want an Ethernet connector. My Wi-Fi isn't good enough for live streaming. And also the camera, the Logitech C20 camera, I wanted that to be connected in there. And I also wanted to connect... Oh, the microphone I'm using an iRig HD. For some reason I couldn't get the webcam to work, but it's been making issues for me a lot. Whenever I unplug it and plug it back in again, it's like I have to re-find it. Even if the MacBook has been turned off, I unplug it, plug it back, then turn the MacBook on again. It's like it's lost the connection to the camera. I don't understand it. So it didn't work through that hub for some reason, but I think it's more the fault of the camera or something. I had to actually plug it into an extra port, which is really nice to have USB ports on your MacBook. It's really nice to have a headphone port on your MacBook. It's nice to have a headphone port on your iDevice. It's really nice to have ports on the actual stuff that you want to use so you can do pro stuff, you know? Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent there. I'm so annoyed with Apple and these, you know, hey, let's remove the most used thing in the world. Let's see here. We got Lady Aptitude. Hello, Lady Aptitude. She's also been a viewer for a long time on this channel. Thank you for all the congratulations about the 10K subs. Hey, we got Tobias from Houston. He's actually in the live stream. I've been talking about you. Have you been hearing what I said? I've only been saying good things anyway. And I want to thank you, Tobias, for hooking me up like this with Teenage Engineering and everything, like bringing me into the fold, making it possible for me to make one of the best videos, or two of the best videos, three of the best videos I've ever made, with the interview, the two pocket operator videos. So I'll tell you right now, it took me, the PO35 video is 40 minutes long, and I've actually collected some of the material I had to use for all those videos. So the PO35 video took me 120 hours to edit together, and I spent about, well, in average 19 hours per day. So then you have to take away like the time I needed to eat, about half an hour, and then I slept for 3 or 4 hours maximum. And I did that for a week before I had that one done. And then the PO33 video, it's half an hour long. It took me 100 hours to edit together. And that's just the editing and the filming work to get the material. So that's 220 hours. So that's like 2 weeks of work that I had to do before the release. I had to get everything done. And before that, I spent months learning the units, learning all about them. And in the end, I couldn't put everything about the units into the videos because they would have ended up in 1 hour long. And, you know, 45 minutes was the maximum. So that's why the PO35 video is 42 minutes, because I just felt it would be... No, it just wouldn't work with the 1 hour for that one. I mean, there are people who make 1 hour videos, but the thing is, it's not that condensed as my videos are. My videos are very much condensed to the point, and that's why I also put like menus in there, because if you look at it between every menu item, the segments are actually about up to 6 minutes long, down to like a minute or 2 minutes long. So it's like several short bits together. And I was thinking about that. Maybe I should have made like short videos, but no, I just made them long so people could come back, use the menu to find the right spot. And that's obviously working. I haven't had that much viewing time on my channel ever. I've just seen my views and my subs and everything just spike through the roof. I've never had a video break through like this before. I've had the most viewed video I've had was like the connect Ethernet or something to an iPad or iPhone, and it's got like 25,000 views or something. The PO33 video, the knockout video, is like 22,000, and it's only been like almost 3 weeks. And the other one has been up for 2 years, almost. So this was a success for the channel. Plus, I got to make some really good videos. It was a challenge, but it was amazing. And you can't imagine how much time spent into actually filming the bits. And the thing is, I've been using my iPhone 6s to film all of these graphics. And I've been using 2 different lenses, 3. I've been using the lens on the iPhone 6s, and I've been using the 2 lenses from that $8 crappy lens kit. And so that's where I got the macro from and the widescreen. $8 crappy lenses. You can obviously do a lot with them. We got Audio Dabbler in the stream. Hello, Audio Dabbler. Mitch, the Audio Dabbler. The guy has been stepping up the production, the quality of his production. And it's looking really, really good. It is. It's looking really good. I'm happy that you're doing it, man. I'm really happy that you're doing it, Mitch. I liked the last video I saw from you about that. It's a thing that you can use. Why don't you write it into the comments so that everyone can see what I'm talking about? It's kind of like the... do I have it here? The leaf? I haven't reviewed it. Wait a minute. I'm just going to check it. Yeah, it's like something called the leaf. This is the thing. So basically this thing, you pop an SD card into there, and then you pop it into this, and then you pop this into the lightning port, and this basically gives you an expanded memory. So you can store on this, and you can have up to, with this one, I think I bought like, this is a 32 gigabyte card. And so you can store pictures, audio, like everything on this. And you can use the opening command to move any type of file over to it and back. You can also film directly to it. And the thing that Mitch is showing does the same thing. And so you should really check his review on it. Geek Go USB adapter. I mean, being mobile musicians using iOS devices, this is something we kind of need all the time, because it's just insane being limited with the amount of I mean, if you have a laptop, you can upgrade the space and everything, and on iOS devices, upgrading means buying a new device. Come on. So things like this is like unvaluable? Yeah, unvaluable. Let's see. We got Joe O'Hagan here. He's one of my oldest viewers, actually. And he's one of the youngest iOS musicians. The guy recently released an EP, which is pretty awesome in, if I could say so. Let's see here. Joe O'Hagan Bandcamp. You know, the best way to celebrate 10K views on this channel is to celebrate all of you and all of the people making all those 10,000 subs, because that's what it is basically. If there weren't anyone subbing, then it would just be me sitting here, a bloke from Sweden, with a can of surströmming. I actually don't eat surströmming. I'm one of those. Have you ever Googled or searched YouTube for Swedish surströmming and seen the reaction from people who aren't Swedes eating it? Well, I kind of get that reaction because I have a problem eating stuff that smells a certain way. That's why I can't even eat cheese and stuff like that, because it smells and it also tastes a certain way. I really don't like it. Surströmming is one of them, but there are some really hideous reactions on the web here. I just Joe, am I gonna get like copyright striked if I play your music? I'm just gonna play your music because I think that what you've done is like amazing. So let's see if we can get this going. This guy is amazing. Joe is about 16 years old, and he's been using mostly like gadget to make this. Bo Beats in the stream. Sup, Bo? Nice to see you here, man. So good, man. Joe, you've done a great job on this, and I do urge anyone else to go check out Joe's music. When I'm done with the live stream, I'm gonna put the link to his Bandcamp album here down in the description. I haven't done that right now, but I will do that. Joe, you could try to post your link into the chat room. I don't think I've filtered that thing out with links. I don't know if it's gonna work, but you could try it at least, so that people can find your music. The rest of the EP is awesome. There's like 4 tracks, so it's really short. Make the next one longer, Joe. Come on, just make the next one longer. And he's got a lot of 80s synth vibes in there, which I find like amazing from someone his age, being that affected by the music that a lot of us grew up with. I know a lot of my viewers are around like the mid-age. I think middle age. I think. I don't know. Maybe I should check my stats before I say something like that. I'm just gonna remove this little thing here. It's popping up on the screen. I'm afraid it's gonna mess with the stream. Right. Let's see here. I don't want to miss anything. Yeah, Bo Beats, by the way. Bo's been getting like a Euro rack, and he's been starting to fill that thing, which I find very interesting. There are actually 2 channels that I like when it comes to this now. Since Bo has started with the Eurorack thing, I'm gonna be watching his videos on it. So I do urge that if you like Eurorack stuff, follow Bo and follow what he's doing there. I mean, that's the most interesting stuff when someone gets like one of those boxes, one of those rack pieces. What are you gonna fill them with? What's your thoughts about that? What do you want in them? I know what I would want if I were into modulars and stuff. I know exactly what I would want. Exactly. I'll probably make a video about that someday. because I just feel I need to talk about that. I just found a module made by a company. They displayed it at NAMM. Simon the Magpie, which has a great channel. He bends like guitar pedals and stuff. If you haven't seen that, he's insane. He's also a Swede. He lives here in Stockholm. He's just crazy. He's totally insane, and he circuit bends a lot of pedals, and it's just a great format. You should check him out. He was over at NAMM, and he was checking out some guy making this modular thing. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a granular modular. So you push the USB stick in there with audio in it, an audio file, and then you had a granular synthesizer that you can operate through a modular with it sounded insane. I watched that thing, you know, that video, and it's just insane. Go check that out. That's awesome. So yeah, subscribe to Bo. Subscribe to Simon the Magpie. Let's see here. Am I missing anything here? Jeff Abraham is asking, is anyone using the guitar to trigger iOS synths via MIDI? Yeah, that I would love to hear if someone does that. I'm still playing your music in my ears, Joe. It's just awesome. Okay, if I have missed any questions from any of you, just retype your question in here and I'll try to get to it. Let's see here. Okay, so Rafael Castro, I don't know if you're still here, but you're asking, just started making synth/electronic ambient music as a hobby. My only gear so far is an attaQ 2. Any tips on what to get next? What to study and listen to? By the way, loving your content. Thank you so much, Rafael. And right now you have an attaQ 2. So I just have to ask you, you don't have a smartphone or anything like that yet? Because if you have a smartphone, if you have an Android, there are some apps out there you could actually check out. And if you have an iOS device, you could use something there. I mean, if you only have an iPhone, there is like multi-track DAW, so that you can multi-track and record audio and stuff into a DAW environment. That works for the iPhone. That's the biggest problem with iPhone, getting a DAW in there, because the window is so small. So if you watch like Aria and Cubasis and stuff like that, they're for iPad. But to get next, when it comes to hardware, the attaQ 2, doesn't it have like a click track output? If I don't remember correctly or wrong, you could just add like a pocket operator to there, or a Korg Volca, or anything else. What do you actually need for your music? The attaQ 2 is it's a pretty good groove box. And so what do you need next? Do you need a synthesizer? Do you need a sampler? What do you need? Like, if you tell us what you need, then you're probably gonna get a lot of answers from a lot of people here. Many of us do use both hardware and iOS. Rafael Castro says, I do have Android. Right, okay, so I have had an Android, and the reason why I swapped from Android to iOS is because there aren't that much, but there are still some apps. And if you want something that looks like Gadget, then you could... Well, isn't Gadget on Android yet? Hey, anyone, I can't remember. Jakob is cuckoo. Is Gadget on Android yet? I do know that Caustic is on Android, and you should check out Caustic. It's kind of like Core Gadget, but it came much earlier. It came first. Caustic has been around for a long time, and it's a really fun app to use. There are plenty more apps actually. No Gadget on Android. Yeah, I can't remember. Let's see here. Jeff Abrams says, I can't wait for more of your videos, Dean. Yeah, Dean, you're making some great stuff, so just keep on going like that. What else is on Android? I think there's a lot of synthesizers on Android, but I'm thinking like recording capabilities, because if you already got like an attaQ, you might want to do some sequencing and stuff like that. So begin with checking out Caustic. C-A-U... Yeah, I think Yeah, Doug from the Sound Test Room. He spelled it out there. Caustic. That's the one. So check that one out. Hello, Agra, and welcome to the live stream. Very nice to have all of you here. Let's see here. Sunvox is available for everything. Yeah, Samuel, you're right. You're right. Sunvox is also another thing you could check out. That's also for Android. There are plenty more. I'm not that. I'm Swedish, so my pronunciation is hard. I'm not that well averse when it comes to Android apps anymore. We got Damn J8. That's my mom, actually. That's why she's calling me son. Hello, mom. Very nice to see you here in the stream. I hope you're doing well. I'm getting better, so I don't have a fever anymore. You don't have to worry about that. I am eating quite well, and I just fed Sophia, the better part of me. Sophia, she's in the room. She's sleeping off that food I gave her, so you don't have to worry about us. I'm just having fun here with all of the people here in the stream, and I can't believe there's actually 57 people watching this. So hello and welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining up on this very joyous occasion. It took about 3 years and 4 months for me to get to 10,000 views. iOS music is kind of niche. It's kind of niche based when you look at music channels on the internet. So within the niche, the channel is doing quite well, and I'm really happy. I'm really happy about that. And it's thanks to you. All I've done is try to make content that would interest you, that I'm hoping would interest you. As I said in the beginning of the live stream, I'm gonna spend less time even concentrating on any kind of numbers, and just concentrating more on what you're saying, the feedback you're giving me, and trying to make the content as good as possible. Now, I have already pulled down on the amount of content that I put up, because I want to take more time so that I can make more research before I put up my content. And so there's a video I started like a long time ago, last year. It's been 5 months now, I think. It's about several types of synthesis, and the thing has grown and grown, and it's gonna end up being a half-hour episode. And so the script is now finally ready. I've rewritten it several times. It's basically gonna teach you what harmonics is, exactly how to understand it, and why certain types of synthesis sounds like it does, which is also going to give you the knowledge of like deconstructing a synthesizer and the synthesis it uses, giving you more power over the tool itself, and understanding how to create stuff and why stuff behave like it does. And I'm gonna make a series of these videos explaining envelopes just as deeply, and going back into history, doing it almost documentary style. So right now I'm writing a list of locations where to film, and the next step I'm gonna do next week, I'm gonna try to call Daniel Araya over at EMS Studio here in Stockholm. I know they don't want people to film in there, but they've got a Buchla modular, and I need shots of that for my video. I might even try to call Max Sokoleski and get to film his modular again, just for shots for that video. And there are some other peoples I need to contact, and I need to get a few interviews in there, because I just want the content to be sustainable. If you look at a video about synthesis from the 70s, that thing is still current today, and it's been how many years since they made that? That's what I want to do. I don't want to make fleety content. I want to make stuff that people can get back to, that will stay current longer and more sustainable. So I know there are so many people out there who wants to understand synthesis, and I remember how hard it was to start. And I've been doing everything from scratch. And the way I've been learning isn't by books, because I'm really bad at concentrating and reading stuff. So I've been learning through doing. Buying a lot of synthesizers back when I had a lot of money, not going out, being very unsocial. He says sitting alone in a room most of the time. I'm still very unsocial. I'm not that social. But the thing, oh God, that's sad. That's sad, Jacob. I need to get out more. But I want to make more of that. And I am also working on something that's going to become a documentary. And I want to take it really, really far. But I don't dare tell you exactly the plans right now of it, how far I'm going to take it, because I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to complete it. And there's nothing worse than hype, okay? Nothing worse than hype. So I'm going to do as Propellerhead and keep my mouth shut. Just not say anything until I'm finished with it. So, yeah, that's pretty much it about that. Diverse TFB says, I know iPad music is niche, but don't you think many producers are low-key using apps alongside their music productions? Oh, it's me, the Diverse, the female beatmaker. Oh, it's you. Yeah, I've seen you over at Instagram. You've been writing some really nice messages to me. Thank you so much. I would like to hear how you make your music sometime. Do you have any videos on that? Do you have like a YouTube channel or anything? If you do, just tell me about it. Tell everyone else. I would love to see your stuff if you do videos or something like that. Well, yeah, I do think that a lot of producers do have apps in their phone. In fact, I know that there are some people that I know that are in higher up places. I don't know what to call it. That do that. That actually do use like apps and stuff for certain things. There are people that will have these discussions with you, and they're like, you need 32-bit float, 96 kilohertz to be on the top. Well, I'm sorry, but I've seen people do along with 16-bit, 44 hertz. The thing is, the PO33 knockout, this is the thing. One of my producer friend asked me if he could like have a look at it, and I said, yeah, go buy one. But he said he really liked my scratch video, and he said it sounds so nice. It's got this mushy sound and everything. And then he asked me about the sample frequency, and he dropped his jaw. His jaw dropped, and he couldn't believe me when I said that the sampling is made in 8-bit ULAW, 22 kilohertz, right? Not 4-6. Not 16-bit, not 24. We're talking talk about staying down low, like lo-fi, but it sounds great. Yeah, exactly. It's not about the thing itself, it's how you use it. I mean, I think I've seen the best memory I have is listening to this guy going to Kingston, and he's going around to different studios interviewing people. And then he comes to, I think it is Tubby or Lee Perry, and they speak about, one of them speak about how they used like a broken speaker, a broken amplifier, and they put the microphone on the back to sample it, to play the bass through it, and that's why the bass sounds so special on one of their albums, on one of Bob Marley's albums. And it's because they didn't have any money to fix the speaker because it was busted. So they mic'd it up on the back. And that's the thing. This wasn't like professional, but they did the best they did with it, and it sounded like great. I don't care if people use 24-bit and stuff. In the end, the music I consume has been compressed beyond nothing. Unless you do a bad job with the mixing, you could use like anything to make music with. It all has to do with what you want to end up with, basically. This is great, Joe. Yeah, you've done an excellent job, Joe. Excellent job. Everyone give it up for Joe. Joe is awesome. I'm gonna keep on following you and your music. It's been awesome watching you grow so much in these years that I've gotten to know you. And you're doing the right thing and you're on the right track. Watching you build your own set and everything. Yeah, you're just amazing, man. Have I missed anything? Question. What are your suggestions for a well-balanced external controller? Or two, using Gadget, Odyssey, Model 15 primarily. Was thinking about akai MPK Mini. Okay. Wow. Okay, I'll be up in front with everyone. I can tell you that after testing several variations of MIDI controllers with iOS, the most successful I've been so far has been with the Novation launch key, and also the Gadget controllers, the Nano key, and the Nano control. Mostly the Nano key Studio, the Studio versions, the big ones. Have been the most fun ones, especially the Nano Key Studio and the Nano Control when used with Bluetooth. They do run out of battery quite quickly. They do, but they can be run on like USB voltage. You can actually run them on USB voltage. So I use a USB battery and I plug them in, both of them into that, and that works too. So yeah, I'm not really complaining. I can still be like mobile, really mobile. Those have been great, and the Novation launch key. But like two controllers at the same time, I don't know if like mixing those up. What I can say is I've also used the iRig Pads controller, and if I'm controlling an app with drums or scenes, something like ModStep, then I would actually put like a pad controller to that, so I can control clips. Everything will be in sync and I can just start, stop stuff like that. And then I would probably use a keyboard. Now, if you want big keys, then the launch key, the big launch key is perfect for that. But if you're like me, a bit nerdy, I kind of like the keys on the Korg Nano key. It's like old typewriters. No, not like typewriters, Jakob. Jakob, come on. They sound like alltså seriöst, hur säger man tangentbord? Hur säger man tangentbord? How do you say that? Keyboard. It's like a keyboard on a computer, using keyboards on a computer, and they kind of sound like that. So some people say that it sounds annoying. I don't really think about it, but I do like those keys. I'm a sucker for nerdy keys, and the Nano Key Studio is pretty good. But if I can't tell you if that would be the best thing for you. As you see, I mean, I'm jumping around over the place. I still haven't found the perfect combo. But the Nano Control together with the Nano Key is a great combo. You get to control a lot of stuff, and those two. They also have like editors. So if you plug them to a MacBook, sorry, there is no editor for iOS yet, but if you plug them to a MacBook or a PC, then you can download the software from Korg and you can actually edit them. And this is what I've been doing for a week, testing that out, because I'm still writing the script for my reviews for those two controllers. There's a lot to go through before I can make the review, because there's a lot you can do with them. And I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm a bit obsessive about that. So there's a lot I have to do before I can actually do the reviews. But I can tell you that that's a great combo. But if you ask anyone else, they're gonna tell you that maybe their setup is the best. You're only going to get our opinions. I haven't found the perfect set. If you're using Korg Gadget a lot, then the Korg Nano Key and Nano Control have a native mode for Korg Gadget. You can't get anything better than that. In fact, it's the only way you can control the mixer is with the Nano Control, because it speaks a native language. So there you go. If you use Gadget, then that, yeah. Probably, but you should probably watch my video on whether you should have the native mode on or off, especially when you're using it with multiple apps. I'm sorry I couldn't give you a better answer than that. Let's see here. Kevin Mechler says, hi, I've never made any music, but I've been interested in learning. The Teenage Engineering Pocket Operators looks really cool. Any tips on where to get started? I prefer physical if it's not free. To learn them, first you have to get one. And if you should get anyone right now, before the Metal series came out, I would usually tell people to get either the arcade, the PO20 arcade, or the PO28 robot, because those are contained like groove boxes with drums, a micro drum machine, and a synth, or as in the case with arcade, a chord machine, where you can do some. Where's my cloth? Oh no, I can't find my cloth. Hello, where did you go? Did someone break in here and steal my cloth? Okay, I found it. So, before the Metal series, I would recommend PO20 and PO28. But today I would actually recommend PO35 Speak. Why? Because it's got a voice synthesis in there. And you can like record other sounds into it and still make it sound very much like, what do you call it? You can still make it sound very much like a synth if you want, because you've got 8 different synth voices in there. It's also got a microtonic drum machine where you can use PO32 transfer files to switch out the drums. So all in all, it's a more fun pocket operator to use. I would definitely recommend that one, PO35 Speak. Also, it's very much more like the older pocket operators, only you can do more with this one, since it's got a built-in microphone and it's got the microtonic drum machine in there. So that's what I would recommend that you get first. And then watch my video on it to learn how it works. If you don't like condensed videos like mine, then you could go watch like haQ's videos. He's also made a video on it. There are more videos coming up. That's what I would do to learn. I mean, I learn the best from seeing the thing in action. That's what I think about when I make my videos. I make my videos so that someone like me with a short attention span and no patience at all would be able to accumulate the data very quickly. And that's why my videos are made in a certain way. I'm just showing some clips from the, I don't want to delete these yet because it took me so much time to make. And also, when I made these 2 videos about the PO33 and the PO35, I had to delete almost every app of the iPad to have space for the videos and for the audio. I still have the audio left. If we go in here, I still have audio left from a few of them. So if you look like, here's multiple audios for the PO33. I always do I always do pre-production on the audio before I add them into the video. So I make everything sound good. Here's, you got a bunch of them. This is all PO30 for the PO33 video. It's just insane. Yeah, it takes a lot of work doing something like this. Let's see, am I missing out on something here? There's been a lot of things said in the stream. Do you have any, if you have any questions, if I've missed one of your questions, just keep answering them. I'm gonna do the stream for as long as my voice can take. Usually I can do 2 hours, but I'm already feeling like messed up in my voice. The flu was really, it wasn't that bad. I have some friends who are still sick and it's been a month, like 4 weeks. And for me it was like 1 week really rough. And now it's been another week of me feeling a bit under the weather. Yeah. If you have any sick family members, I wish them well. I hope they get better really soon. I mean, it's nothing worse, just not being able to do anything, just lie around and just, yeah, it's just awful. I feel for them and I feel for you. Let's see here. Let's see. Right. Diverse says, I'm so stoked to see how much can actually be done on iOS music alone, which is why I know for a fact some big name producers also using apps too and don't want to admit it. Yeah. When I started this, before I started this, I've told this in another live stream, like way back, and I've also told this in some other videos before and in an interview, like, one reason I wanted to do this with iOS only was because I always got these comments from people saying like, why are you even looking at this thing with the iPad and iPhone, because they're just toys, you can't do anything serious with them. And I'm just so tired of hearing stuff like that. I mean, take a toy shovel, like something you give to the kid. It's plastic. It's a toy, right? But as soon as I see that kid taking that thing and starting to build something, it becomes a tool, a creative tool. And I don't care if it's a kid or a grown-up doing it. It's what you use. It's the purpose of it, what you intend to do with it. That changes the meaning from toy to tool. And I think it's demeaning to call anything a toy. It's a toy until you do something with it, until you have a purpose with it that you do. A toy for me, my Xbox is a toy. My Xbox is a toy. I don't use it to be creative a bit. I'm not being creative at all. Unless I did play Minecraft some time back, and yeah, you can be creative there, and then it kind of stops being a toy again. It stops being a tool for being creative. I didn't actually play the game. I just tried to make nice living rooms, blockish living rooms with lots of lights where you couldn't actually see the light sources, because I'm odd like that. Probably spent more times building crevices into the wall, putting the lights inside there so that we shine out through a hole in the wall instead of just seeing the actual torch, because I just couldn't live myself if I saw the actual torch. Is that weird? Maybe that's weird. Maybe I shouldn't have talked about that. Right. Let's see. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this. Yeah, that's good, Jakob. I'm gonna play towards the end here of this thing. So for anyone new that joined up, if you didn't hear me talk about this is something I've made in Gadget. I'm playing it in the mastering app here by Igor Vasiliev, an app I've been using for over 3 years to process all of my audio in all of my videos and all of my music. He just released an update for it. It's worth paying for this thing. It's an all-in-all mastering app, and it's really easy to use. It's got some fun presets in there, but it's really easy to tweak some of your own if you want to do that. I usually make it like I use it to just maximize my music and stuff like that. So this is something I'm working on. It's going to become an EP, and it's kind of like music with story elements in it. So I'm just going to play something about here. I don't want to spoil the ending on that one because you find out what happens. Something happens to the astronauts, and I don't want to spoil that. It's gonna be a great thing. I had this great vision where I wanted like parts of it animated for a video, but it's not gonna happen. Simply, no way I'm gonna be able to pay anyone for doing that, and I can't animate this on an iPad that well. I could probably do it on a MacBook, but it. Animators on YouTube doesn't have it easy. I mean, animation takes an insane amount of time making. So there's a lot of animators out there I just highly adore. Make some really crazy contents. And right now I can't even think of any names. Oh no, I'm so sorry. So Dean Daughters from Electronic Sounds. Electronic Sounds as how did you do the vocal? I did the vocal with this, Dean, with the Pocket Operator PO35. All of the vocal bits in this song is made with the PO35. So yeah, it's just amazing. I'm using that particular thing, We Are Stardust. I'm using the auto-tune thing, and I'm using the retro voice for the astronauts when they talk to each other. I just played them at different pitches so you can hear like 3 distinct voices. That's it. Jacob needs an iPhone X with animojis. Right, Samuel, does the iPhone X have a headphone port? Because if it doesn't, I don't want it. I want a new iPhone for the camera. But I'm sorry, I can't get an iPhone without a headphone port. The problem is I use my iPhone's lightning port and the headphone port together all the time. When I'm doing interviews, I'm using it to charge the iPhone while I'm filming it, and then I plug like a lavalier microphone into the plug here. And to do that with multiple settings is just a chore. And then if I want to charge it at the same time, I have to bring a USB 3 to Lightning connector, and then it's really messy, and it doesn't work really, really well either with a lot of apps that I've tried. It's just a headphone port is really useful. Yeah, I don't want to buy another the Belkin Rockstar. I don't want to buy it. I have enough dongles. You know, I couldn't even get the Thunderbolt thing to work today. I had to use the USB thing for the MacBook to connect the Ethernet, because this wouldn't work for some reason. I don't know why. It's just insane. Is there anything else that did I forget something? No. Let's see here. I was thinking of... Did I have... Yeah, I'm just gonna show you something here. So it's been almost 3.5 years, 10,000 views, and I'm gonna continue doing this for as long as I can. Basically, we'll see where it leads. We'll see where the content leads. I am also looking at getting into trying to teach in a schooling environment, not for the youngest of people, but for people maybe maybe journalists and stuff that wants to be able to do some quick work with video work and audio work on their mobile devices and stuff like that. I have a lot of ideas. I've had to pitch them in front of a few people. I can't say more than that, but I am looking for something like that because I need to have a more secure place when it comes to a regular job, because I don't at the moment, which is a problem. It takes a toll on you when you have to think about those things all the time, trying to, yeah. It's just awful sometimes. Let's see here. Did I load the wrong one? Cycles? Right, so here's something that I'm working on. I'm using Vancouver gadgets here. And what I did was I went to this site called... let's see if I can find it. Can I find it? Can I find it? Where is it? It's called... I can't find it. I can't find it. Wave, single cycle, yeah, Adventure Kid. Right, so at adventurekid.se, there's this guy who has collected a lot of single cycle waveforms. And so if you have a sample player where you can loop the sample, you can load up a single cycle waveform and it will sound like as if you have a synthesizer. And that's what I did. I've downloaded the whole thing from that site directly into AudioShare, unzipped it, and then I'm just sorry, importing the samples into Vancouver. And inside Vancouver, I'm loading them up as single cycles. I'm just gonna... And I'm using them as synthesizers. And I made this. So all of that is like samples. All of it is samples. The same thing with this thing here. This is also samples, I think, if we can solo this out. No, not that. This one. Come on! So basically I'm using, this is not a single sample, but it is a drum loop. And then I've just set like the start and end point. And then I'm modulating the start point of this thing. If we go to the loop, wait, where is it? The start point, I'm just modulating it so it jumps back and forth between these. So it chooses like a bass drum and then a snare drum. And that's how it's working. I just love working like this. It's pretty awesome, isn't it? I'm gonna make an episode about this. This is one of the next videos I'm planning. I'm kind of writing a little note for myself. It won't be that heavy scripted as other videos because I know Core Gadgets so well, so I don't really need to script those videos. I just start recording and then the magic happens in the editing instead. It's like a mix of instead and istället, which means instead in Swedish. Wait, istället means instead in English, of course. Let's see here. Okay, so Bo asks, Jakob, how do you feel about single cycle samples versus having longer samples? I feel like there's a huge sonic difference in single cycled Moog and longer samples. Single cycled Moog. Are you talking about like Moog or something like that? Because that one uses... I think it uses single cycles, I think. You could even switch those out. You used to be able to do those before, but it kind of depends on the thing that you're using to do that single cycle thing. I mean, I've used some pretty awesome wavetable synthesis with the PPG apps where you can load stuff like that. Waldorf Nave just does amazing things with it. To be honest, completely honest, I don't care about the sonic differences. To me, it's more like, do I like how this sounds or not? It's not like which... For you too, it was like, you notice the sonic difference, so to you it matters, right? So, I don't think about it. I don't. If it would click and pop, then I would probably, you know, do something about it. I would probably think about it. But if I don't like something, I'll just add a filter to it and I'll do something to it. I'll just shape the waveform the way I want it, because that's how synthesizer works. I'll just add a filter and pull up on the resonance, maybe add a little distortion unit, something like that. I don't care. I always find workarounds on things. So I don't really think about this versus that when it comes to like longer or shorter cycles. I don't know if that answers your question, but that's the answer I gave. thank you for coming, Jeff, and it was really nice having you here. I hope I get to see you in other live streams. Have a real nice day or evening. No problem, Bo. No problem. Why don't you tell me what you think? Like, yeah, tell us what you think about that. If it's important to you, there might be people here agreeing with you on that. They might totally disagree with me. So it's always nice to have both ends. We got Christian Supino here. Hello. What happened with the videos about synthesis? Yeah, you missed that part, so you just came in. I've been talking about them. I've rewritten them several times, and the script is now finally done. And now I'm working on a list with locations. So, yeah, I'm not going to finish it in months, because it's going to end up in a kind of a documentary kind of tutorial thing. So I need more people involved into it. I need some interviews. And I need some nice shots of some modular synthesizers and stuff like that. That's what I'm working on right now. So I'm just going to keep on working on it. And in the future, I'm not going to mention any of my big projects, because hype can kill a project really fast. So don't worry, Christian. I'm still working on it. I haven't abandoned it. Trust me, I wouldn't abandon something I've spent that much time on at the moment. And I have. It's like, yeah. Let's see here. Joe says use both single cycle and longer for different effects. Yeah, that's one to do it. That's one way to do it. Northern Zion asks, any word on the OPZ? Northern Zion, if I knew, and I'm not saying I do, but if I did, I would never say that loud, because if I did, I would probably be under an NDA, and anyone else too. And we wouldn't be allowed to say anything about that. And of principle, I don't talk about stuff like that, because it would make my job really hard, and it would make it hard to get anything. You know, it's to have a channel like this, it helps sometimes to know when something is coming out before it comes out, because for someone like me that spends like hundreds and hundreds of hours on actually doing a video for something, like I did with the pocket operators now, there were hundreds of hours spent into those. And if I would be involved with the OPC, then I would spend hundreds of hours on that. And I would need hundreds of hours. And then for me to be able to put out a video the same day it comes out, I would have to know about it before that. And if I leaked stuff, then Teenage wouldn't really, bring me into the fold. So that's my principle. I don't kiss and tell. I just hope it's soon. We can all hope it's soon, right? I mean, that's always something we can do. I know it doesn't answer your question, Northern, but it's the best one I have. Oh, thank you. It feels great reaching 10,000 subs. And it's all thanks to all of you. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. It's not it's our channel. We've built this together. We really have. I mean, it doesn't become more clear than that. There's like 10,000 clicks on a subscription button, and I didn't make those. So yeah, you can't build a channel without other people. It's impossible. So thank you so much for that. Let's see here. Diverse asks, Jakob, what app would you say on iOS has gross beat from Fruity Loops, Quality, Electrifix, Tornado? Oh, Electrix. It's that multi-sequencing app, isn't it? Let's see here. Yeah, Effectrix, Tornado. I don't use them as much today. Whenever I want to do some creative resampling and stuff, I kind of use this one. It's sequential. It's because it's so simple. I just love apps like this, and sequential is a real zinger. Zinger? Zinger? No, that can't be the right word for it. I'm Swedish, so my English isn't that good, you know. I'm still learning though. I'm trying. It's not a zinger. What do you say? It's a gem. It's a really gem. It's a real gem. It's just a wonderful little app. It does kind of similar things to what Effectrix does and Tornado, but it's much simpler. So you want something more advanced, then between Effectrix and Tornado, I would choose like Tornado. I think that one is most fun because you have a finger control. And when it comes to something more like a sequenced thing with set bars and things like that, between Effectrix and sequential, I'll choose sequential because I think that one is most fun. Yeah, that's my take on it anyway. And if you want to do some crazy stuff, like some glitchy stuff and crazy stuff, then I would definitely where is it? Oh no, oh that's right. I've deleted so many apps because I made the Pocket Operator videos. I have to reinstall them again. Do you know how much it is I haven't been able to save? A lot of tracks, a lot of saved presets and stuff like that I just don't have access to anymore because I had to remove them. Sector is an app by Jonathan Liljedahl, who also made Om. That app is really fun. You just load it up with samples, with waveforms, and then just glitch them away. I don't use the stochastic thing because it's too random. I work with the sequencer in it. And then it becomes great because you can do some really cool and glitchy stuff. Let's see here. Am I missing anything? Again, if you have asked any questions that I've missed in some way, then just ask me again because... It's not easy to keep up with everything, and the chat room is quite active, which is just wonderful to see. I love seeing that. And so thank you everyone who's joining up. And if you just joined up, this is the 10K celebration live stream. I'm celebrating that I've had people like yourself watching this right now. Just keep watching my stuff. Overall, I've made, you can't see all of the videos. I've actually made 700 videos for the channel now, but you can only see about 640 of them because some of them are like patron specific videos, and so they won't be visible to you unless if you're a patron, then you can watch them over a Patreon. But I'm reaching like officially 650 videos, and all in all there's like 1.3 million views on the channel, and that is so insane. And it's insane because I went back and checked my old content, and there's some really cringy stuff there, and I will never ever remove it, even though I want to. And the most cringy stuff is when I started this channel, oh god, I can't even, it hurts watching it. So, you know, yeah, I'm gonna search for it. I'm gonna hate myself for this. YouTube, come on YouTube. I want you to show me the good stuff. I want you to show me the good stuff. Can you show me the good stuff? My channel. Let me search my channel for the good stuff. For the absolutely best I've ever done. The best content I've ever made. haQ. Wait, can you go back as far as the first one? I can't even remember. Using Thor. It's gonna hurt so much. I don't want to do this. Oh, I'm so uncomfortable right now. I don't want to watch that one. Please. Oh no, it's that one. Okay, so it's actually it's got 700 views. People have watched that video. Whew. Using Thor for Project Buddha-Drome. Okay, so the thing we're going to see now is a Jakob that the day after he became sober, because I'm a sober alcoholic and a drug addict, and I've been sober now for over 3 years, and I started the haQ format when I got sober, basically. So that's how I've been able to stay fresh and being able to make this content by being sober. So I'm really thankful for that. But I used to be a real, whoa, yeah, the things I used to do. And this is what it looked like back then. I used to look like a Big Mac.
Just nu kan du få en större gran Big Mac till samma pris som en Big Mac.
That was loud. I'm so sorry. That was loud. Oh God. Oh, this is so cringe. I didn't feel really good back then. I was kind of sick. I had been abusing stuff for quite some time.
So bear with me now. This is going to go really fast. This is not a tutorial.
Great picture, Jakob. This is so interesting.
You notice how when I press a key,
Crooked eyes.
every time I press it, the LFO or the wobble rate changes.
Oh my, what? Oh my God.
Well,
This.
I'm going to show you how I did that, but
Oh my God.
it's going to go really fast because this is not a tutorial. So what I do,
I
is
almost feel
I
ashamed of
have a
this.
simple analog reset. Now this sounds like this. Pretty boring, right?
That's a great tutorial, Jakob. my content has come far.
Really cool. So we go to keyboard and then we change these settings to 1.
I'll just pull down on the volume here. We have this word in Sweden. It's actually like 2 words. That's the best thing about Swedish, that you can take 2 words, put them together, and create a new word. It's really it's a really active language. So you have the word for ashamed or to be ashamed, and that's skäms. And then you have the word for pillow, which is kudde. So skämskudde is like shame pillow, and that's a thing you want to pull up to your face when you're feeling really ashamed about something. Have you ever felt that? When you're watching something, it's so cringy, you're feeling ashamed, you're doing this face, and you want to hide your face because you feel so ashamed of what you're watching. That's what I'm feeling right now, and I hate myself for playing this, but this is where this channel started. This is where it all came from. And from this moment on, this was like the first real test. From this moment on, I tried to find a format to make the haQ format, the thing I really wanted to do. I was already running a blog, and I'm filming this with my my Zoom Q2 HD, so it's like a portable microphone, stereo microphone, with a 720p camera on there, and that's what I was using to film this. The lighting isn't that good. I'm using screen capture that was so badly synced that I had to cut every 30 seconds and move it ahead and back in time and pitch the video in order to make it sync up with the audio. Because I was using an app that was supposed to capture... Yeah, this was over 3 years ago, so... Yeah, that guy had no idea that he would reach like 10,000 subs with all of you here watching all of his videos. He had no idea. He wasn't even sure if it was going to be like sober the next day or the next week. He wasn't sure if he was going to sit in a gutter somewhere high on something in a week or a month. He didn't know anything. He just made this video, and I'm so happy he did. So even though it's really, really cringy, and I don't want to listen to myself, I sound so weird in some videos. I can't even make voices like that anymore. I've tried. This wasn't too far off, but there are some videos where it gets really cringy. I'm trying to do a Batman voice. I've had some complaints about that from some viewers within rights. You know, they've been right about it. So, and I've tried to do some high-pitched noise, and sometimes it sounds like I'm speaking Cockney in a few videos. That's just me watching a lot of Jason Statham movies and just picking it up from there without thinking about it. By the way, have anyone seen Crank? Because I love Crank. Crank is insane. Like all of these movies are insane. You got like Transporter. I love these mindless action movies. They're really hilarious. Because they're so I don't know what to say. There's just too much of everything. Just insane. They're insane. Yeah, I'll just let this play. I mean, this is where it started, and now we're here. It's pretty sick. What's going on in the chat room? The Other Diablo says, the farting video is my favorite. Yeah, I'm not going to play that. The last time I did in my last stream that I did that, I got such a vitriolic email that I'm thinking like, yeah, I'm gonna hold back on the fart videos. I'm just gonna hold back on them for a while. I mean, I already have them. So if you really want to find my fart videos, just type haQ fart. There's 2 videos. They're really stupid, really silly. But if you like that kind of humor, then go check them out. I'm not gonna play it here, but thank you for mentioning it, Mitch. Thank you. Raphael says 7 days sober now. Aiming for a lifelong though. It's hard. Yeah, Raphael, everyone does it really differently, but the way I did it was I stopped counting days instantly. Some people need to do that. It might not fit you, but I stopped counting days and only thought about now. I need to be sober now because I need to do this now. I didn't think about tomorrow. That gave me an anxiety, and that was just, that was like too much for me. I couldn't plan ahead. I was afraid something would happen if I did. I don't know what I thought, but yeah, that's basically it. So I just stopped counting, and I just kept being sober and drug free for the time. Just trying to breathe, trying to live my life, trying to do the things I needed to do. You know, brush your teeth, get a shower, eat some food, enjoy life, maybe go to work, go for a walk with your partner if you have one. If you don't, then do something else, make a bit of music. What I did was I created the haQ format, and I started focusing on that too. And when I did that, I realized I was focusing on helping other people. And that is what helped me the most. Trying to help others. And yeah, it's still helping. There's a lot of people that find the content helpful, and that's a great reward in the end. That's a great reward when you change that for someone. Someone has a frustration, you know, about something, and they're able to take part of something that you've made, and with that information, they're able to transfer that into a tool to go and do and create what they want to do. That's amazing development. That's what I love to do, so that just feels great. Just get a project, try to help someone, and yeah, do that like every day if you can. Just try to help someone in some way, and listen to people. That's my biggest problem. I got a big ego, and I didn't listen. And when I got sober because I started listening to other people that had the same problems as me. Before that, I felt like I was alone in everything, and like everything was everyone else's fault. But I quickly realized as soon as I started listening to everyone else, that it was actually me. I was a problem, and I'm like, ooh, that's something I can actually change. That I have some kind of control over, to do something about the way I react and, you know, behave. And so now I try to be and I try to not be an awful person. I try to be, I try not to be off. Is that right? Am I making any sense here? Let's see here. Hey, I've got a few Swedish pals. How come he sounds so cockney? Yeah, diverse. We Swedes like Jason Statham a lot. We do. We watch a lot of British movies over here. A lot of American movies, a lot of British movies. That's Sweden for you. That's Sweden for you. But hey, you guys are hogging all of our artists and all of our our actors. All of our actors are going over to every other country and doing acting and stuff. You got like everyone from Skarsgård to like everyone. You got everyone. That's just insane, which I love. I love seeing that. Tony Duncan, Tony Duncan started a group on Facebook about sobriety and synths and stuff. So if you're on Facebook, I suggest you check out that group if you're recently coming out of, or if you are maybe an addict or something. There's lots of musicians there. They talk about music and previous or like addictions and stuff like that. So yeah, Tony, you've been doing a great job there. You started it not so long ago, and there's already a lot of people joining up, and I love seeing that. You're doing great work. So yeah, pat yourself on the back, and it feels nice, doesn't it, to be able to open a place and a space where people can come and just, you know, be themselves. That's most important. Let's see here. Let's see here. Shane Johnson, Jacob, thanks for all the great videos and congrats on the subs. Can you please do a vid on Studio Max? I really need to use it. Oh yeah. All right. Shane, I don't have Ableton, but I'm gonna try to get in touch with Ableton and just ask them to give me a copy, because I can't afford buying Ableton right now. So I need them to give me a copy of that. And I will try to get some videos. I already have like Cubase, and I'm gonna try, because I know more and more iOS musicians are trying to integrate laptops and desktop PCs and MacBooks and stuff with their iOS devices, and we're melding together now, you know, we're melding together all of these things, getting the technology together. So yeah, I am gonna make videos like that. I'm gonna make something on Studio Max, because for anyone not knowing, it's a way of getting all the audio and MIDI from through an USB cable through the lightning port on your iPad or iPhone into and back to, like from the iPad and iPhone into the computer and back again. So that's what you can use Studio Max for, and it can be a hassle to set up depending on what software you're using on your laptop or desktop computer. I know I've seen a lot of comments on this on the channel, a lot of people asking me. Shane, you're one of them. I'm sorry I haven't gotten to it yet, but the thing is, I get to use my girlfriend's MacBook, because I'm iOS based only, so I get to use it more now. I have it for longer periods, so I am gonna get into that. I've already done like one video about Gadget on it. I'm gonna do some more, so yeah, I'm gonna get to that, but don't expect anything really soon, because, you know, as I do all my stuff, I have to learn it first. I just want to make sure that the information I'm giving you isn't wrong or anything like that. Like, it's not easy staying up to tune. I mean, like, what was it, like yesterday or something? I posted like I say like a lot, sorry. I posted a video on the AudioBus forum and everywhere else on the social networks, the video about Cubase versus Beatmaker. Why I made that specific video is because that is a specific question I've gotten. I never ever talked about Aurea or any other app because that video wasn't about that. It was to convey a concept of two things being good for doing different things, and in the end it all depends on what you want. A lot of people keep talking about Aurea and stuff like that. This wasn't that kind of a comparison. I did, however, write in the title which DAW is best for you, but I was specifically referring to those two mainly because I've received that question a lot, and for me they're not comparable, and some people just disagree with me because you can do this with MIDI in it and everything else. But I still find it more straightforward with Cubasis to do that, and other things more straightforward with BM3. And in that group, there was someone asking me about how to connect like MIDI controllers or stuff like that to trigger stuff in BeatMaker, and I posted my video on it that I did where I'm connecting like a nano key or nano control to BeatMaker, and then someone said that I was giving away bad information and that's not how you do it. Now that commenter was not right in it because you can do it that way. That's one way of doing it. But the commenter said also that you can also just double tap on a controller, go in there and choose the MIDI device, just tag it right there. You just do the MIDI learn thing. The thing is, when I made that video, you couldn't do that. You see, it's not easy to keep up with everything because what's his name? Oh my god. Oh, I can't remember his name now. It's so lost. I talked to him yesterday. The maker of BeatMaker. He told me he like introduced MIDI learn for the knobs in version 3.0.0 something. That was after I made my video. So at the time, that was the only way you could do it. So yeah, my video was out of date. It's one way of doing it. Today it's easier. You just add it right on the controller. But that's the thing with apps. A lot of things change. And for me to stay current with something, when something comes out right away and I want to make a good video on it, then sometimes I kind of need to wait a few weeks and to see if the developer is going to fix a few things. Because if they do, there are some, I spit on the mirror, there are some elements that changes so much that my video will become out of date really quickly. And I'm really concerned with that. I don't want to make a second video the day after saying, hey, this is how you do it. I don't. I want to do a proper video right away. And now I'm gonna have to make a new video of that, how to map your controllers, because it's more up to date. That's the hardest thing. So Studio Mux is coming. It's been out for a long time, and I think it's safe to make a real video on it right now. Really. Let's see here. A lot of people miss Army. Yeah, every time I try to bring back Army, I get emails. This is the thing. I mean, I watch other videos by other people, skeptics and stuff like that, and people have no problem being vocal about faith or anti-faith or whatever. But on my channel, they don't tend to write comments about it. But Army triggers some people that are apparently Buddhist, and they get angry with me. And the thing is, in the beginning when I used Army, I did actually get some concerns from some people asking me if I was concerned about that, because some people might get a bit butthurt that I'm using Army, and Army is Buddha. Basically, it's a Buddha head. And I hadn't thought about it before that, because, you know, it's just an animated thing for me, right? But every time I've like tried to bring it back, I've gotten this email, and I don't think it's from the same person. I don't recognize the type of writing, but it's beyond vitriolic. I can tell you that it's beyond vitriolic. It's almost to the point of scary. Almost to the point of scary. They're trying really to get under your skin and be really threatening, and I just find it to be ridiculous, right? But since I want to keep the channel clean and about music and not about politics or religion and stuff like that, that's why I tend to keep Army on the down low. I actually had an animation a few weeks ago that I did. No, I was gonna do that, and I was gonna voice Ami with some PO35 speak things, but I went against it because I just felt that, yeah, maybe not yet. So he will keep popping back in from now and again, but not that often though, because I don't want to turn the channel into some kind of a hitting bag for nutty people. I mean, you are pretty nutty if you're threatening people's lives. You have to be pretty nutty to do that. I mean, it's not good. It's not a good way of behaving. I can understand that people disagree with me all the time. I have many viewers that are like very skeptical about some things that I'm doing, and that's good, you know, that's constructive. But like hatred and threats, never constructive, never. So yeah, that's just the way it is. Oh, there's been a lot of comments here. Well, there's still people watching, which is amazing. I've been streaming for 2 hours. I'm gonna try to go a little bit longer. Normally I end it after 2 hours, but this is a joyous occasion, and I think my girlfriend is still asleep in there, so I can, yeah. Let's see here. Tori Dawson says, I've got Beatmaker and Auria, but I'm hooked on Gadget. Hoping more audio editing gets incorporated soon. Yeah, I do agree with you. I've told this to the Korg fellas, that I would like to see some audio editing in Swedish. Gadget is awesome, and Gadget is very self-contained. A lot of people are asking for Korg to make Gadget like audio unit things. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I mean, you do have it on desktop, right? You do. It's different on iOS, obviously. I don't think they're going to do it anytime soon. So, yeah, people can keep asking for it, and maybe sometime they will do. I don't think they will, though. I'm not sure. I mean, this is hearsay. This is just a wild guess from me, so don't take it as fact. I don't know anything more than any of you do, because they wouldn't tell me if they were planning on that. Okay, they wouldn't. This is still Korg. It's hush hush. Like Propellerhead, they like keeping it on the down low, even if we're friends. We've got a good friend EA, but yeah, that's just the thing. And again, if I knew, I wouldn't say. That's really helpful, Jacob. Really helpful. Let's see here. Mr. Fong, when Jacob was speaking of tornado effective. Yeah, I think she means effectrix. So it's EFF. Come on, Jacob. You can't even spell today. EFFECTRIX. Effectrix. By Sugarbytes. It's Sugarbytes, isn't it? Sugarbytes also made Tornado. And another cool app. What's it called? The beat thing. Egoist. They made Egoist. And they also made this Unique. They also made Unique. And they did make Cyclop. Which you don't want to use on if you're on an iPad mini. But if you're on a bigger iPad, then yeah. Because there are some elements on it that are just too small to handle. I'll show you. This is an iPad Pro 12.9 inch. And these switches are small, even on the iPad Pro 12 inch. On an iPad mini, it's insanely small. Insanely small. Oh. This app just kills me every time. It just makes me... Oh, I love it so much. Oh, I love it so much. It takes a lot of time doing something in this because you've got so many so many automation possibilities with it. And you could literally spend an entire day doing a patch. Same thing with my Mini Nova. You can spend an entire day making a patch on it using the modulation capabilities and the button switches and the pads, because if you have one sound, you can tweak the sounds and tie them to the different 8 pads and make the sound so different with every button press that you have multiple presets in one preset. So you press pad 1, you play it as it sounds like one preset. You press down pad 1, it sounds like another. You press down pad 2, it sounds like another. Just keep going, and then you can press 2 and they will add up all of the modulation things that you did, and suddenly you have a new patch. Press out another one, you can see how many combinations you can have of presets on there. So you can spend an entire day, you could spend a week on making one preset. It's just, every time I start, I haven't finished a preset in very long. Sorry, getting a really dry throat here. I haven't been able to finish a preset with my Mini Nova in a very long time because I just can't complete it, because I keep doing new things with it, with the pads and stuff, with the Mini Nova. It's such a powerful synthesizer. Yeah, I do recommend it if anyone will ever have a look at, like, thinking maybe I should get a synth, a smaller one. The Mini Nova from Novation is just insane. So yeah, it's powerful. It's powerful. It's got everything from the Nova and even more. And if you don't, yeah, it's got like smaller keys. If you don't like the smaller keys, then go for the Ultra Nova. It's basically the same engine, basically, but the Ultra Nova has bigger keys. Samuel Lindemann, he says, I'm listening to Dan Baker's Bass of Spades. Let's see here. Bass of Spades, Bass. I keep saying bass. I think I used to do this when I said bass. Yeah, I used to do that. Look at him go. Ah, look at him. Oh, Mr. Bass. The bass. He made a bass from a shovel. He made a bass from a shovel. It's not what you got, it's what you do with it. Yeah? That's what it is. Wow. The chat room is going wild here. I love that. Let's see here. You know, for the reminder, my voice is almost giving up here, but for the reminder of this episode, just keep asking me questions. If you have any questions about the way I produce this, you know, anything, just you have a chance now to get answer to those questions. And as I said before, if you've typed any questions and I've missed it, type it back. So for the reminder, I'm just gonna tweak a little patch and keep talking to you with Thor. Thor is what kind of launched my channel. So the first haQ ever, haQ 1, I made a a tutorial on how to make voice synthesis. It was really short, and I got some feedback telling me I wish you would go more into like vocal synthesis, because it was really short, 2 minutes. I didn't really say that much, but it was the first real haQ tutorial. And the first one didn't actually have any background music. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna just do the simple analog reset. And I think I'm gonna do some car plus strong thing. Should I do that? Car plus strong. I should do that. Don't I already have that? Wait a minute. I think I'd... Oh, yeah. Resonate. Yeah, I do. I have a car plus strong... It's pretty cool, isn't it? Now, Thor doesn't have the full capabilities of a modular synthesizer to do the proper car plus strong string synthesis, because you have to kind of be able to route the filter in between the delay and everything, and I can't do that here. But I'm really close to string synthesis, and this is how you do the string synthesis inside the OP1. I think it's patch number. Could it be sound number 3 on the PO12? Is it sub, or is that the PO14? Ian the Shepherd asks, do you plan to make any more OP1 videos? Ian, I'm really sorry, but I returned the OP1 to Teenage Engineering. It wasn't mine. It was never mine. I borrowed it and I returned it, basically. So I can't now. I can't make him. Maybe I can contact Tobias and maybe borrow it again, make a few more videos with it, maybe. Right now there is actually a synthesizer I'm really interested in. I'm following development of it, and I've been talking to the creator, Yu-san. He's Japanese, and he's made this synth called, let's see here if we got, what's it called? It's called the it's called EZF1. It looks like a pocket. It looks like the OP1, but it's an FM synthesizer. Do you know? He's got an Instagram account called Uendo. Let me just check if I can find it over here. All the cables are in the way now. Let's see if I can find Mr. Uendo here. Uendo. Come on, Uendo. How do you search? Uendo. There we go. Yusan. Here we go. This is the ELC1, the ELC_1. I've been following this thing, and I wrote to him and I said like, hey, I've got a YouTube channel. I got like 10k subs. Why don't you send me one so I can check it out? And he's like, maybe. And I'm like, yay, maybe. That's good. That's good. I just love what he's done with it. It's got that. Let's just check it out here real quick. This is insane. It kind of sounds like Final Fantasy. I don't know if it is, but it sounds like to me. And I love Final Fantasy. I absolutely love Final Fantasy. Yeah. Oh, I love Final Fantasy so much. I'm a real nerd when it comes to that. Oh, I love Final Fantasy. I love it so much. I love like Final Fantasy 9 and Final Fantasy 7 and 8. Don't like the new ones that much. They're not really. They kind of stopped being. I'm just being negative now. I'm just being negative. It's like it was better back in the day when we used to eat frozen beer out of a beer can and throw I don't know, like stuff into the bin. I sound really grumpy. I just like the old ones better. Maybe because I fell in love with them when I was young and played them back then, but I just love the sound of this thing. And what I want to see is what I can do with it, how insane I can go with it. It's FM synthesis. But it sounds so different from other things that I've heard, like FM synthesis. It's doing some, I don't know what it's doing with it, but it sounds absolutely great. And he wrote something about Inoue-san. Inoue-san is one of the chief programmers at Cork, who's been working on Gadget. And it seems like these two work together on this. I think. I'm not sure. It might just be a guess from me, but if it is, yeah, I can imagine why it's so insane, because, you know, Inoue-san is a great guy. And just a great programmer. So this is gonna be like really, really awesome. The ELZ_1, check that one out. Follow Dr. Uendo. Call him Yusan. He'll be really happy about that. And why don't you be like, hey, I found this through Jakob. Yeah, you should really send him one, dude. It's like, yeah, that guy. Is it wrong of me to ask you to do that? Yeah, you don't have to if you don't want to. I love you anyway. You don't have to. You don't. I'm just saying, if you go there, you know, you could. I just really want to try this out, and it would be awesome being able to make some videos for this one on the channel. I just want to try something new. I do want to try the new thing from Teenage Engineering 2, so I am gonna call Tobias and say like, hey, put me on the beta test team. Yeah, I would love to try the new thing. When is it coming out? People are asking. It would do great on my channel. Yeah. Yeah, I just love doing stuff like that. Trying out new things. It's what I love doing the most. Really, really benching stuff and testing it like seriously. Really going into things and testing it. Am I starting to get boring yet? I don't know. I mean, I've been streaming for 2 hours 12 minutes. I'll go for a little while more, and if you want to keep watching, if I was gonna say something really obvious, I'm not gonna do that. Right. So I'm gonna load a clean thing again. Templates. Let's see here. Simple analog reset. What do I want to do today? What do I want to do today? Yeah, I want to do something simple here. Let's load an FM module. That's what I like about Thor, is that it's got so many types of synthesis. You have the analog one, oscillator, the wavetable oscillator, phase modulation, which is a form of FM modulation. They're very close to one another. If you look at the old Yamaha synthesizers, then they sound like FM modulation, but they're not FM synthesis. They're actually PM synthesis. I'm gonna explain all of that in my synthesis videos in a far future sometime. Then you have the multi-oscillator, which I love too. The noise one with several types of noise in it. Thor is a bread and butter synth, and it's everything else, and it's also semi-modular synthesizer, matrix. It's got everything. It's just amazing. So let's load an FM pair, and doesn't sound like much right now. So what I want to do is I want to modulate the FM carrier, the mod over time. Yeah, that's that farty brass sound. So let's use the modulation envelope, and we're gonna send the modulation envelope to oscillator 1 to the mod, and then just pull that up full and give it like 10 seconds is the maximum, like 10 seconds. Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear that? Is that loud enough? And then let's give it a little bit of release. And let's also control the filter. We've already got it a bit there. A long filter. Come on. Let's add more oscillators to this. I just want to have more FM pairs. I just love that. More FM pairs. Turn this off. There we go. We should have, yeah, I'm just going to clear this one. I'm going to put it here so I can put it into multiple destinations. So I'm going to choose again, I'm just going to choose the modulation envelope and up that one and just send that to the oscillator 1 mod, and then also send the same signal to oscillator 2 mod. Just pull that up. Let's turn on both. Yeah, I love that. I love that. I absolutely love that. Let's put in a state variable filter, and I wanna notch this a little bit. I think no, I wanna peak this. Let's put a delay on there. Yeah, I want the that filter knob. I want that filter knob to move. So let's use an LFO for that. We're gonna use LFO 1 just to go to the filter 3 and just move the come on, man. Filter 3 and then just go for the frequency format X. Huh? No. Is that the right one? Yeah, that's the right one. I'm using LFO 1, so I'm just going to turn down LFO 1. It's just too quick. Yeah, that sounds good. And let's just add a bit of noise to this. Do we have any noise? Right, and let's add a state variable filter. Let's get another. Oh, okay. Easy now. Take it easy. Yeah, Theory, you're right. Thor doesn't do granular synthesis, and that's the only problem I have with it. I'm actually using, for that synthesis episode thing video I'm talking about, I'm using Thor to recreate a lot of types of synthesis. But granular, I can't do, really. I can't. I'm having to use something else for that, which I'm not going to disclose yet. Because there are several ways of doing granular synthesis. There are several ways of doing wavetable synthesis. I've found out so much doing the research for that episode. It's just insane. Oh, it's so loud. Why are you so loud? Yeah, my voice doesn't feel good, so I am gonna end this now because I can't go on further. Just gotten back from this whole thing with the flu. And I want to thank everyone who came here to join up and watch this live stream. I'm really grateful. I've been lucky enough to have viewers like yourself, and I'm really happy about that. Really happy about that. It's been an awesome ride, like these years. It's been a lot of fun talking to you and reminiscing and just discussing stuff, agreeing or disagreeing with you. I hope I can keep on making good content for you. And if you want me to do more live streams, if anyone is getting past the 2-hour mark with this, tell me if you want me to do more unscripted, unscripted videos in the live streams in the future. Because I really need to hear it. Because personally, I want to make content that is produced, but I also do realize that there are a lot of viewers out there who likes the live stream format, and so I want to do it for you. So if you want that, then just tell me. Yeah, thank you for watching so much, and if you joined up right now, then I'm sorry this stream is ending. If you want me to do more live streams unscripted, then just tell me and I will for you. Probably not often, but I will, definitely. In the meantime, just gonna do like a callback. I'll just throw in this, where is it there? Yeah, that's the Patreon. Oh, it's the old one. Yeah, my Instagram account isn't on there. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a new one. Either way, thank you so much for watching. All comments and ratings are welcome. Don't forget to hit that like button if you liked this. If you didn't, then you got the dislike button. And if you don't want to push that button at all, then you don't have to. If you subscribe, don't forget to press that little bell thing, because that way you'll always get notified whenever I upload a new video. This video will go up live. This video will be available after I'm done streaming it, as soon as YouTube has gone through processing it and stuff like that. And so I want to thank you, and as usual, I wish you a very productive week. Now go finger all of your stuff like that and have a lot of fun doing it. And I don't have an ending for this. How do I usually end it? I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna end it. So thank you so much, and see you later in the next video. So let's end it with this one, and then I'm gonna stop streaming. So bye bye. Have a nice day. Bye.